So for today's service call, we have got an LED sign. You may not have ever seen one, so I thought I would do a recording of it to give you an idea of what it's like, because it's actually pretty easy. I want to show it to you so you might feel comfortable taking these as a service call even if you've never done one. We were called out because this quarter of the panel is out, and this whole sign is controlled by different sections. So as you can see, this would basically be 6 different sections making up this entire sign. So something in this particular part is killing power or killing signal to this one quadrant. Not a quadrant because it's 6, but you get what I'm saying. The biggest trick with these is when you get on site, you got to figure out how to get them off. You will need a hex T-handle to get into this. There are holes embedded in here, and I'll show you that here in a second. They're really hard to see when this sign is lit up. You're literally staring into the light to try to find teeny tiny little holes to stick this in. So I'll show you how we found a way to identify that, and then of course what I would do if you're working in a section that's lit or it comes on while you're working, you're going to want to pull power so that it's off so you can see the holes. So having this off allows you to easily get into these different panels to find the parts that you need to swap out. What you want to do in order to kind of find your spot, especially if you're working in the lit area, is you're going to want to look at the bottom of the sign, and you will see the different breakpoints between the panel pieces. Your holes that you're going to be looking for are going to be right in the center of the panel. So this at least gets you in the ballpark. You're going to go up from here and you're going to look for your hole that your T-hex is going to go into. So right now the sign light is off, so there's your hole for the T-hex. But obviously when the sign is on, it's a lot harder to find it. And there's some false ones in the middle. Obviously when the sign is off, it's a lot easier to work with. So we're going to look here. That's our individual pieces. Here's our center point. So there's our bottom hole, and there's only 2 holes that you got to worry about. So here's the false one. Here's your real one. So we're going to go from here about that width, and there you'll see is the top one. So if you undo the top one first, stick your T-hex in. It's just a quarter turn. It's just a latch. And actually, I would do the bottom one first because you're going to use the top one as leverage. So undo this. You're going to go back to the top one, and I would do the top one last. All right, so once you've done your quarter turn, you're going to pull your panel out, and it hooks on the bottom. This is your latch. You just do a little quarter turn, and that opens it up on the top and the bottom. It clips to the back of this piece right here, and so then you'll be able to pull it out. Each particular spot is going to have different pieces, and so you're going to have power supplies in different places. You're going to have circuit boards, so you're going to have to find the piece that you're looking for to replace. Let me put this back on, and let me show you what we found so that we could actually get to the central part. So there's the edge of that. So I know that I'm going to be somewhere in this range. I'm going to come in with the T-hex, quarter turn, unlock the bottom one, and then I'm going to be looking right in this range. There's the second one. And the reason that's important is because for the next panel, your next hole is going to be pretty close. So you know if it's that far apart, you're not dealing with the same panel. You need to be pretty much finger stretched apart to know that you're on the same panel. Once you undo that, you just kind of pry a little bit, wiggle, and this should come off. All right, so once we get that off, you've got all your connectors to control this. Everything is daisy chained. You got to look at that and look at your work order description to figure out what you need to replace. So the central power powers this whole quadrant. And as you can see, assuming that it works, there we go. So now we have power again. So this whole section that was off is back on. So if you're trying to do troubleshooting and you need to open up multiple panels, let's say that one of these is out, you can come down to this bottom, in this same quadrant, it's gonna be the bottom right, and you can unplug power, which will kill power to this whole thing so you can see to find your holes and not blind yourself while you're trying to work. And then when you're ready to put it back on, you just kind of slide the bottom in to where it hooks a little bit. See, and that's not level, so you just gotta find that sweet spot. Just wanna make sure everything's flush. Quarter turn. Again, if you can't find it, you're looking for your finger width apart. Quarter turn, that's locked. And you want to check, make sure all of them are solid, none of them are flopping. But that is working on an LED sign. If you got value today, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.